Welcome to a special edition of Styles and Scruff. Today is going to be about finances as tax time is coming up. We have a special guest today, a financial guru, a real rock star of the area, very well known, Miss Chola Owens.
How y'all doing?
Now Chola's going to tell us about what she does and give you some tips on how to secure your financial future and really just create sustainability in your life. So, what I want to do is I'm going to turn the floor over to her and let her tell you a little bit about her background.
Okay. Well, I'm in real estate and I'm also a credit professional. I launched my business about 2 years ago and I've been doing real estate officially since August. And I help people with credit situations, fix their credit situations, and become homeowners. And I've been doing pretty good with it so far.
Excellent, excellent. Now, one of the interesting things about you is that you and I are about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So we are Western Branch graduates. We've known each other for exactly. We've known each other for about 20 years. We've been pretty much in the same orbit, same area.
Yep.
Came up in Portsmouth. I started school in Portsmouth, and it's just gone up from there.
Yep.
And one of the things about us is that compared to a lot of people, we didn't necessarily jump into our current career fields. We didn't have it like laid out since the point we left high school. We grew up saying this is what we know we want to do, and I think that's something that a lot of people feel like they have to do. Like they feel like if I don't know what I want to do by the time I turn 21, all of a sudden I'm lost or I'm not going to reach this potential. And you and I are living proof that that's just not the case. A lot of times people get discouraged because they don't fit this ideal, and they're not this ideal client, or they say, I don't really, this isn't something that I really expected for myself. I'm pretty sure you get that a lot.
I do.
So when you are, what do you feel like is the main problem that you encounter when it comes to people, when it comes to, the main problem with our demographic, I should say?
Just taking the money to invest in themselves. We got the money. That's not an issue. I think Patty Pie selling $2.4 million over a weekend shows you that we have the money. It's just what we spend the money on. I think we don't take enough to invest in ourselves because of the hard work that is going to be required in order to see the return on the money we invested. We would rather take that money and invest in someone else so that if it doesn't work, we can say, hey, we gave you my money and you didn't do what you said you were supposed to do.
Right.
As opposed to taking that money and putting it in yourself and then holding yourself accountable for the results. So I just think people need to step up for their own lives. Because you got to understand you are your worst enemy and you are your best friend. You're going to get what you put out. So, and people aren't going to go as hard for you as you're going to go for yourself.
Exactly. So. Exactly. What do you think about this idea? It comes from the churches now. People have this pray until something happens kind of mentality, where it's just like God's gonna make a way, God's gonna make a way, but yet they aren't willing to recognize. They're not in a position where they're really ready to recognize that way. Like if it doesn't happen in this ideal situation, then it's not the right way.
Yeah.
And like preconceived notion, I'm pretty sure you've encountered people that come to you and say, well, this didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to work out. This didn't work out the way you said it was going to work out. This didn't work out the way it worked out for such and such over there. Why is my situation different? And when you come up to those people, how do you help them to understand that everybody's situation is different and that they can still achieve the same amount of success as someone else?
Well, before I even do any business with them, especially with the credit, my pitch is it all depends on your personal situation and it depends on your personal effort. If you want it, I'm going to make it happen for you because that's how I feed my family. At the end of the day, I can't make money unless you get your credit straight or you buying a house. And if that's what you want to do, I'm going to make it happen. But I'm not the type of person that chases people down. I'll call you once. I run my pitch by you. And I leave it up to you because we're all adults. And if this is something you really want, I know me being the type of person I am, if it's something I want, I get it done. If it's something I really don't care too much for, if it's not that important, I let it fall to the wayside. And so, I think people need to take the self-initiative to really get themselves going to be able to accomplish whatever it is that they're trying to get done. procrastination is definitely something that a lot of people have an issue with. And if you don't act on it, then you're gonna be stuck right in the same place that you've been in the beginning. You can pray all day and you can say, I want this to change, I want this to change, but until you apply action to those words, then all you're going to have is words. And so a lot of people got to be who they say they want. Whether it's someone coming in your life, whether it's a career, whether it's, you know, I hate to say, I remember reading a book one time, and it talked about receiving from the universe what you put out. And when you see, if you want a promotion, if you want a new house, when you see someone else get it and you don't like it, or you don't say congratulations, the universe withhold that from you because you're not happy for the person who is receiving it. You will sit there and you'll keep saying, I want it, and I don't know how this person got it and I didn't get it. It's because they put the work in it. It's nothing different. Between you both make the same money. You may not make as much, or they may make less. It's just the mindset. It's the mentality. It's the ambition. It's the work. The work speaks for itself. So if you want a particular outcome, then you need to be willing to apply everything that's required in order for you to reach that outcome, or you need not apply.
I think that's really interesting because now, with people looking at the Powerball, they say, oh, the lottery's at $500 million and stuff. And now I'm pretty sure you've seen the memes on Facebook that say, oh, dear God, please let me win this $500 million so I can prove that it won't ruin me. And it's like, wait a second now, whether it's going to ruin you or not, that's already there. Like, certain things don't just come out of you, you know what I'm saying? Like, money can, you get a very quick influx of money. It's like, good can become great or bad can become worse. It's like, but whatever was there is still there in its own form. It's like, exaggerating, like putting the magnifying glass right on it. And which is really fitting now because it's almost tax time. And with taxes coming out, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be really flush with cash. And now I'm pretty sure that you have dealt with people who have that mindset where it's, I'm thinking about today.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, instant gratification. Like, I need something to show for it today. I need to prove that I need something to show off this money that I have, to show off what I have. And I remember we were talking earlier about how, one of the things that you said people make a mistake is that they take that money and it's already spent before they even get it to their hands. They got, I got to pay on this bill, or I got to, and I want to buy this and knock this off my credit, and I want to, do these things. It's like, what do you think the ideal person use for that money would be? Like, if you want to make this if you want to make 2016 your year, what would you tell someone?
I would say take that money and invest in yourself. If you've been thinking about starting a business, take $75 and go downtown and get a business license. If you want to study a field or sign up for school, I think that's the time. If you've been waiting on something and you've been waiting on money to actually get it done, it's the time to do it. But I think you should definitely invest in yourself, not paying a bill off, not invest in something that's going to bring you more money or change your financial situation, or at best change your mindset. Because even if your financial situation doesn't change right there, the changing of your mindset actually helps you see what it potentially could be if you stayed on this path. A lot of people, they get scared because they get scared of the what if or the unknown. And to me, that's exciting. The what if and the unknown is exciting. I'm excited to see what's going to happen because I got, so much good has happened so far. But when you have people who, in their mind, nothing but bad has happened, they really don't want to move forward. And it's just letting people understand and take whatever that bad part is and, comprising that into something that's going to bring either a lesson or money or something. Like, it's always a lesson in everything you do. So definitely investing in yourself and investing in, stop saying I want to and start saying I did.
Right.
And it's gonna change how you look at life.
Yeah, because my dad used to always tell me, only people who fail can say they tried. But nobody says, like nobody who succeeds ever says, "Oh, I tried." They don't look at it that way. They look at it as I did it, and failure is the first step. I mean, you know, I can speak for myself, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for you when I say this, that we've been knocked on our asses a number of times in life, but it's not about, you know, how hard you get hit. Exactly. It's how hard, you know, how many times you're willing to get up and keep fighting. And, you know, whether your situation is ideal today really doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Because today is gone in an instant.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I use this analogy with my friends. It's like people who aren't willing to do whatever it takes aren't ready to succeed.
Exactly.
Because to me, when I look at my situation, my family, what I want to do in the future, it's all about getting to tomorrow. And so it doesn't matter. In a lot of ways, you know, I feel like I've probably, you know, had to push people off to the side that weren't ready to move till tomorrow. They were still living in today. And for me, it's like I have to do whatever is necessary to get to tomorrow. I'll scratch, I'll claw, I'll fight, I'll bite. You know what I'm saying? I probably lied and cheated, you know what I'm saying? But the important thing was to survive to that next day, because we don't know what that next day was going to bring. It's like today is here. We already know what today's going to be. You know, and it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon right now. We already know what's happened the first, you know, X amount of hours of this day. We got an idea what's going to happen the rest of this. But tomorrow is a whole new thing, and tomorrow could be that next day that you do stuff. And then when you brought up the business license, I mean, you gotta, you know, you probably come into contact with people who didn't even know that you could go down to City Hall and get a business license without actually, you know, they think they gotta have a brick and mortar type of thing.
A storefront or something.
And I think that without that knowledge, that people don't have that knowledge, and there's not really enough people out there willing to teach them. I think that's like a really a major setback. It's like, you know, people always talking about privilege and whatnot. But it's those kind of things that to me hit me as disadvantages that people have. And one of the big ones is the ability to network and ability to get to know people in the different fields. Like, you know, I know you when it comes to like credit, so I can send somebody to you. Like, I can't help with credit, so that I can send somebody to you because you know credit. It's like tax time come around, I do people's taxes. So if you know somebody, you can send them to me, and I'm not gonna charge them 10% on whatever they get or whatever. And you know that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you and I, we were talking about how we kind of work on different ends of the financial spectrum. It's like you work in the beginning because the building blocks of wealth is buying a house. Buying a house has always historically been the stair step to sustainable wealth. Whereas for me, it's like I work on retirements and 401ks and helping people understand how much money to set aside and different things. So it's like you and I kind of have a network now because we know each other. And then so the people that I know in my expertise, you know what I'm saying, they are now at your disposal. The people that you know are at my disposal. So, and people don't understand that unity is really how, you know what I'm saying, like you connect enough chains and you have a net. So that is what keeps everybody from falling.
Exactly.
And so, you know, the things that you are able to accomplish overall benefit, you know, so many more people than yourself. And so when you really you know, when you push yourself, you're bringing everybody up too. So here's the next thing. What's next for you?
I have no clue.
No clue. You're not writing a book. You got to write a book. You got to, you know.
I wish.
I would buy it.
I think what's next for me is just seeing where God want to take me. You know, because I didn't plan to be here. When I signed up for real estate classes, it wasn't, oh, I want to be a real estate agent. It was like, I got the money. I like sales. I can sell a house or two. And then it just manifested into something. So I don't know. I just know that I'm gonna continue serving. I'm gonna continue being his mule, and you know, trying to make as many homeowners as I can, and change the dynamic and the mindset of my people, and you know, my community, and that's my goal. And that's the only thing that I can say is set in stone right now, is that I'm gonna be changing lives.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be bringing people to God. That's all I know. And the rest, I'm gonna let him finish writing because he's been doing real good with the story so far. So I'm gonna let God finish, you know, writing these chapters for me. I'm just gonna be, you know, a character in his play.
And I think that's a wonderful step, because in all of that, it's a continuing progress. It's like it's not that you said, okay, I'm here, so now I made it. And I think that's where a lot of people see it. It's like they see an end. You know, they like you hit a goal. You know what I'm saying? And but you didn't stop at that goal. That goal was you hit this point. Now this goal became the beginning for whatever's next.
Exactly.
And but a lot of people don't really have that motivation and don't really have that support. So what would you say to them to help them stay motivated? Because I'm pretty sure with your clientele, you probably ran into some people that were just like, I think this is as far as I can go.
Um, you mean as far as getting the credit together?
Well, just getting their credit together or whatever they wanted to do next. Because, I mean, in what you're doing, it's like, you know, saying you, not only in what you do professionally, but just as the example that you set allows you to minister, mentor, and do a lot of things for people. So it's like, how do you help somebody that don't feel like they have that support system?
I tell them all you need is one person. You need God, and you need one person that's going to encourage you when the world is telling you that it ain't going to happen. And I would rather that one person be yourself, but I do want you to get someone who you can confide in, and when you hit a wall that they can say, look, you see that door right there? Go use that door. You know, I had a lot of, my husband was mine because I had my mother, my family was like, you need to get a job, you need to, you know, I had a lot of naysayers, and I still have a lot of family who has yet to support, not support cheering, but, you know, actually support my business. And I think one of the most hurtful things is actually being in the field and then seeing a family member or a friend go to someone else in that field and give them the bit. That's a hurtful thing, you know, because you're like, well, what about, you don't want to keep it in the family? I got kids to feed, you know? So, so what I tell people is just get one person who believes in you outside of yourself and God. Because those are the only two tools you're really going to need. As long as you got someone who supports you outside of yourself, God, and your own personal motivation and ambitious spirit, you can't let no's and rejections and failures, you can't let stuff like that stop you. When I tell people is you're no different than a doctor, you're no different than an attorney, you're no different than a millionaire. The only thing different about you and them is the mindset. Is that you, for some reason in your life, something or someone has told you that this is it. And that because you have all of these outside situations and circumstances, you can't do nothing because you got kids, because you a mama, because you a wife, because you in school, because you work. You got to do all this stuff first before you can do this. No, no. Because you're going to be doing all this outside stuff just to do it because you have to do it. But once you really concentrate on that nucleus and you focus on that, that brings such a divine power and peace that all of the rest of those things don't become a chore. It becomes you love it. Like when you broke, you hate paying bills. But when you got money, you love paying your bills. You know, it's the mindset. You know, and that's why I like to talk to people, like especially CNAs and people who make that $77, $8 an hour. I tell them, well, you could be a homeowner too. How much you paying in rent? Oh, I'm paying $700 a month in rent. I just sold somebody an $88,000 house, almost brand new, gutted out stainless steel, granite countertops, and their mortgage is $600. 3-bedroom.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, you know, it's stop making your idea of what you think something is supposed to be like, and break yourself out of this mold, break yourself out of this box. There is no right way. There is no set way on how to do things. And like people, you know, people would ask me, Chola, how did you get there? Because they know I have 4 kids. They knew, what did you do? I can't tell you what I did because I don't even know what I did. I just started moving. I just started going whatever God sent me. That's where I went. I said, I know where I started. I started on the back porch, drinking, crying, asking God what He want me to do because I was tired. That's where I started. And the rest is a blur. I don't even know. So what I tell people is go to Him and ask Him what He wants you to do and let Him do it, because a lot of times what we want is nothing nowhere as good as what God got waiting for us. on the other side. Because when I grew up, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to sing and be Beyonce. And now I'm sitting back like, I'm so glad that I ain't got to be skinny all my life. I ain't got to watch what I eat. My business ain't all on TV.
Right.
I do what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thank God that, I did not choose that path, or I didn't pursue that. You know what I'm saying? But growing up, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I thought I wanted to do.
Right.
But now that I'm here, I'm like, that's not what I really wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do until God showed me what I was supposed to do.
And I think in a lot of cases, and I can speak for myself, and I think that it kind of would touch on what you're saying as well. Is that when you go to God, sometimes He'll just start to tell you, okay, now first what you need to do is put some of this stuff down. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some of this. It's like you carrying too much weight to get where I need you to be.
Yep.
It's like you right now, you acting a little entitled. So I need you to put that to the side. Oh, you waiting for some instant gratification. Okay, I need you to put that to the side because your plan is 5 years. I need X amount. I need 1 or 2 years to get you to where you need to be.
We got people waiting on you, and I can't get this plan done until you.
Right. It's like I need to get you there so you'll be at this point. But at the same time, I got these people here to meet you, and they on their own journey too. And that, like I said, that's one of the things that really kind of shows, saying God's plan too, because we ran into each other back in July at a restaurant, and that kind of snowballed into us doing what really brought us here, because at that point in time, it was like we was kind of in each other's orbit, but we was kind of like, on that outside of the orbit. We didn't know what each other was doing. We didn't know anything really too much about, like, I didn't know you was, big into that, but then all of a sudden, it's like, I saw you there, and then it made me, it made me pay attention, and all of a sudden, I would see Chola Wilkins on there, Chola 10-Eye CEO, and then all of a sudden, I saw Chola Owens up there, and it was just like, but it started popping up more often. It's kind of like when you buy a new car, right?
And you ain't never noticed the car.
And you'll never see your car on the road, and you think you don't want your car. Then you see everybody got your car.
Hey, Dad, the same color too.
Same color. But you know what I'm saying? But that's what happens though. It's like you now you are because now you're ready to see that. See, before it might have bothered you, it might have kept you from getting that particular car, but now you are able to see that, and you are able to see that path. And I think that's one of the things that is really interesting about your story. That it's like, this is really, being a mom of 4 kids, having come off of TANF, using that money to start this, that's like 5 chapters of a 20-chapter book. Okay, like there's still so much left to be written here.
That I ain't even told you.
Right, and that's the thing, and it's like that's why I say what's really a blessing to me is the fact that somewhere somehow, it doesn't matter if it's today, 15 years ago, this advice is still gonna be the same amount of worth to somebody, and somebody's gonna see it. It's gonna be able to help them. And the fact is, it's like that's why I say I gotta make sure that I get you to come back. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to make sure I get you now because people starting to get their W-2s. I don't want them to start seeing that money starting to burn their hands in their pockets. But I wanted you to be able to say something to them that'll touch somebody's life. And I love that we've had this opportunity to do that. And I really want to make sure that you get. I want you to come back as many times as you want to come back, as any time. Because you are a wealth, you are a fountain of knowledge, and and I'm telling you,
tell my mama that.
I will. I promise I will. She's got. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I link this to her page personally. Because like my wife gets on me and she tells me that like my calling is eventually to go into politics. But the thing about it is, it's been like one of those things. Like I told you before, I haven't gotten angry enough yet
to go in there
to really go in there because I'm the kind of person that I'm very serene about a lot of things. Like something might be bubbling under the surface, but I know how to deal with that. And but what I'm saying, if I go into politics, I want to make sure that I have the right team, and you will be like my first round draft pick on that team.
I appreciate it. That's what I want.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me know.
And we, what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, we can take it. You know what I'm saying? We can go. You know what I'm saying? I turned 34. I turned 34 last month. All right. This year coming up, I'm eligible to run for president. So I need to start that path. You know what I'm saying? I can do it in 20 years. Bernie Sanders been in office 19 years. So
and he been running.
So by 55, that's not a bad age.
Might be soon. You ready for the White House?
Then let everybody want to know your business then.
I know. We all on Front Street.
Exactly.
Go.
So like I said, we got, you know what I'm saying, like, between you and your ability to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, really. That's what it really comes down to. Because I see when you post, like, people's text messages on Facebook to show how much you've actually been able to help them. Even if they didn't necessarily work with you, the fact that you've been able to help them, the fact that they're so thankful, it's like, it's going to pay itself forward. And I think that's one of the things when we talk about letting go of some of the instant gratification. It's like it comes back.
I'm broke.
You know?
I'm broke.
Who you telling? You know what I'm saying? It's like, but and that's one of the things that people don't understand. It's like people like you and I will always have enough.
Yep.
Because we're always working towards the future. It's like I'm not gonna take on a car payment right now just because I got down payment money.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not going to, like, this is the house that I live in now. But this is not the house that I expect my 17-year-old son and my daughter to be saying, "Oh, I'm about to graduate high school," and still be in that same room that they was in when they was, you know,
Babies.
2 and 4 years old. It's like a lot of people miss that step. They want to skip that step. It's like they want that 6-figure house, and they ain't got the 6-figure money yet.
Start.
And not understanding that's like, if you start out in your zone, what you are able to get, then you can start planning for that future. Because in that, like you said, you sold somebody an $88,000 house. That $88,000 house would be something they can pay off, and then all of a sudden that's an asset. Now they can either sell that house and borrow off of it.
The house was worth $120.
Yeah, and they can rent that house out. I mean, there's so many options that you know what I'm saying, there's so many options that opens up for people.
Yep.
And they just got to be ready for it. It's like you got to be ready for that. You got to be ready when that door opens to be able to walk through and prepare yourself and know that you've been prepared for what's on the other side. And that's one of the good things that I say when it comes to what you're doing for people. Because it's like, you're not really looking at, you know what I'm saying, this top-down type of mentality. That's, I think, what's destroying the economy now, is this idea of people looking top-down. It's like you got to work on everybody else who doesn't believe yet. You know? It's like one of the drawbacks for what I do is that most people, you know what I'm saying, the stock market and stuff doesn't represent everyday people, because everyday people don't have money in the stock market. So I can never look at, you know, the strength of the market and say that's an economic indicator, because there's so many people that's not even touching it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What I would love to see is that when you get people into homes and into ownership and understanding, like, property, both commercial and, like, personal property, then they can jump up into, that's why I would say we on a little bit opposite ends of the spectrum, because it's like they go through your stock and they go to you for the start. They come to me once they, you know, ready to say, okay, I have done my time, I put in my work, and now I want to live off of.
For the beginning and come to you for the end.
There you go. And I think that's one of the things that makes this work. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, being able to put so much together, and that's why I feel like it works as such a good example to see people working together. Because then it's like you look at us. Me and you have been people that have, like you just said, you was on the back porch crying. I was sitting there in this 2-bedroom apartment having to come out my master bedroom just so my kids have enough room.
And that was to you, that was your moment as a man.
Yeah, and you know, literally, my son was born 6 days before my 30th birthday. I was still in my master's program. I knew my wife was about to come out of work for, like, you know, what we didn't know, what we thought was 8 weeks, ended up being 12 because of the C-section. And we were sitting there like, all right, now what we gonna do? Because I still got another semester of school before I can do something. And it was like, you know, once again, you make it to that next day. Like, I mean, I probably, you know, there was stuff that I had to, you know, there's a lot of stuff I put off to the side. I like took, you know, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, so I had like a nice big collection of cards. You know, I sold that off. You know, I was like, no, it's like whatever it has to be. You know, said I done robbed Peter to pay Paul. I done told bill collectors, I done gave bill collectors opposite addresses because I just needed to make it to tomorrow. I cannot pay you today. I know I do not have this today, but if I make it to tomorrow, then we got a shot. And I think that people are so afraid of tomorrow now. That they lose sight of the benefits of tomorrow. Yeah, that bigger picture. Yeah, exactly, the bigger picture.
They're looking at the trees as opposed to seeing the forest.
Exactly. And I think that when people, you know, miss out on that, and a lot of times it's like, it's not because they don't want to, it's because nobody's ever showed them. It's like people become
Or they think it requires too much.
right. Yeah, exactly. Because and that's why it's like that's why they need people that like you and I. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're a rock star. You know what I'm saying? But you're a human. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a superwoman, but you're human. So it's like people can see, oh, I can get there too.
I can relate.
I can relate. There's so many relatable traits. I don't feel like you're so far removed.
Yeah, you're not intimidating.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like your story doesn't become a situation where people can try to pick out, oh, you was down there. Oh, I remember when Chola was over there. And I remember when Chola used to do this. Or I remember when Byron used to do that. Oh, that was that same dude that did this. And it's just like, it's like, no. They don't look at that once they see that picture. They start to see, oh, wait. I've been there. And I can get there.
Yep.
If I'm willing to put in the work. And it's just like I said, I'm waiting for you to come out and write your book. When we get to, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get this we get this city council thing rolling, and we're going to start there, and we're going to take it to the top. You know, we are going to do it.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
I'm ready.
And once again, I'm so glad that you were able to make it
Thank
to the
you
show.
for inviting me. I enjoyed myself.
It is a pleasure. You honor me by coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chola Owens. We will have her contact information at the beginning and the end of this video. If you guys need any help whatsoever, she is going to be there. She is dedicated. She is one of the best people that I know. Ladies and gentlemen, Chola Owens.
Thank you so much.